Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to more Reading with Raptors here at the University of Minnesota Raptor Center. I am in here in our program room with one of our resident great horned owls, who we call Lois. Today we're going to be reading a book about some other nighttime nocturnal creatures. So we'll talk about that in just a moment. Before we get started, I have a few notes. The first that you've probably been seeing a lot about on our social media pages here on Facebook and on Instagram is on this Thursday, November 19th, is Give to the Max Day here in Minnesota. It's a very big kind of fundraising opportunity for a lot of nonprofits here in the state of Minnesota. So check that out. We'll be posting a lot more as that comes up. But for our Facebook Live audience, we're going to be doing a Facebook Live at noon on Thursday. So that's this Thursday, the 19th, where we're actually going to be changing things up a little bit from Reading with Raptors. We're going to be going outside into the outdoor enclosures and doing a little bit of a virtual field trip outdoors. So we're going to be seeing some of the birds that are outside in the enclosures, get a little bit of view of that. I know for anyone who's been here before, it's probably been a while since you've been able to see out into the enclosures. And for anybody who has not actually been to the Raptor Center, this will be a great opportunity to see where all these birds are actually spending most of their time when we are not in our various rooms reading picture books. So definitely come and join us on Thursday. That's noon. And since someone's saying hello from Belgium, that's noon Central Time here in the US. So we'll see you then. We'll be posting lots of links. We'll drop a link here in the chat too to that main kind of University of Minnesota Give to the Max site for the Raptor Center. So with that, today we are going to be reading one of my favorite books from when I was younger, which is Stellaluna. This is by Janelle Cannon. This is about bats, mainly, but I figured a great horned owl would be a great companion for this particular book, since talking about nocturnal creatures, nighttime. So let's get started with Stellaluna. Right now, I will say before we start, I had just given her, when we kind of came in here, I gave her kind of some knotted up paper towel to kind of play with and rip apart, so she might keep interacting with that, but that's why she's kind of down here in the corner. I think she's still pretty visible there. Right now the perch is slightly in the way, so hopefully she'll hop up onto a perch here as we get going, or she might keep playing with that particular piece of paper towel. So, Stellaluna. I'll zoom in on the pictures too, since these are gorgeous. In a warm and sultry forest far, far away, there once lived a mother fruit bat and her new baby. Oh, how Mother Bat loved her soft, tiny baby. "I'll name you Stellaluna," she crooned. Each night, Mother Bat would carry Stellaluna clutched to her breast as she flew out to search for food. So here we see that fruit bat flying, and here down near her tummy is a tiny little bat clutching on as they fly through the night. One night, as Mother Bat followed the heavy scent of ripe fruit, an owl spied her. On silent wings, the powerful bird swooped down upon the bats. Dodging and shrieking, Mother Bat tried to escape, but the owl struck again and again, knocking Stellaluna into the air. Her baby wings were as limp and useless as wet paper. Down, down she went, faster and faster, into the forest below. So here you can see this mama bat and this owl flying through the air, and then baby bat Stellaluna falling down towards the ground. The dark, leafy tangle of branches caught Stellaluna as she fell. One twig was small enough for Stellaluna's tiny feet. Wrapping her wings about her, she clutched the thin branch, trembling with cold and fear. "Mother," Stellaluna squeaked, "where are you?" By daybreak, the baby bat could hold on no longer. Down, down again she dropped. Here's this tiny little baby bat clutching on. I didn't point these out on the other ones, but there's a tiny drawing here at the top of it looks like Stellaluna's mother escaping into a cave. Flump! Stellaluna landed headfirst in a soft, downy nest, startling the 3 baby birds who lived there. Stellaluna quickly clambered from the nest and hung out of sight below it. She listened to the babble of the 3 birds. "What was that?" cried Flap. "I don't know, but it's hanging by its feet," chirped Flitter. "Shh, here comes Mama," hissed Pip. Here we have our baby bat landing headfirst into this nest, and our 3 baby birds really excited about that. I love this nest because you can see little bits of string and some beads and spider webs all worked into that nest. The tiny little drawing up here looks like Stellaluna's mom poking her head out of that cave. I skipped a page, just a moment. Nope. Many times that day, Mama Bird flew away, always returning with food for her babies. Stellaluna was terribly hungry, but not for the crawly things Mama Bird brought. Finally, though, the little bat could bear it no longer. She climbed into the nest, closed her eyes, and opened her mouth. Plop! In dropped a big green grasshopper. You can see this baby bat eating this grasshopper from this bird. And up here we have Stellaluna's mom looking for her. Stellaluna learned to be like the birds. She stayed awake all day and slept at night. She ate bugs even though they tasted awful. Her bat ways were quickly disappearing, except for one thing. Stellaluna still liked to sleep hanging by her feet. Once, when Mama was away, the curious baby birds decided to try it too. When Mama Bird came home, she saw 8 tiny feet gripping the edge of the nest. "Eek!" she cried. "Get back up here this instant! You're going to fall and break your necks." So here's this picture of this beautiful nest, a very upset Mama Bird, and 3 baby birds and a baby bat all hanging upside down from this nest. I like the downy feathers that are hanging off of the birds' fluffy heads. And here is our Mama Bat looking around through some leaves. The birds clambered back into the nest, but Mama Bird stopped Stellaluna. "You are teaching my children to do bad things. I will not let you back into this nest unless you promise to obey all the rules of this house." Stellaluna promised. She ate bugs without making faces. She slept in the nest at night. And she didn't hang by her feet. Stellaluna behaved as a good bird should. So here we have our Mama Bird scolding this troublemaking little bat. I also love that she's holding on by this is kind of the equivalent of the little thumb joints, the little tiny bat thumbs. And then over here we have our Mama Bat still looking into all the different holes in trees. All the babies grew quickly. Soon the nest became crowded. Mama Bird told them it was time to learn to fly. One by one, Pip, Flitter, Flap, and Stellaluna jumped from the nest. Their wings worked. "I'm just like them," thought Stellaluna. "I can fly too." So here we have our baby birds and our baby bat all leaving the nest at the same time, learning how to fly together. Here we have our Mama Bat still on the search. Pip, Flitter, and Flap landed gracefully on a branch. Stellaluna tried to do the same. Here are these baby birds on a branch, and here's our bat trying to land upright on a branch. Their wings all stretched out. I love this little picture of this bat kind of poking through the reeds, looking at a frog. How embarrassing! Here we have our bat trying to climb up to stand upright on this branch. It's like she's having quite a bit of trouble. Here's our mama bat continuing the search. Looks like she's poking her head in on a mouse or a little rat. I will fly all day, Stellaluna told herself. Then no one will see how clumsy I am. Here's our baby bat trying very hard to stand upright on this branch. You can see trying to hold on with her wings and her feet. Here's our mama bat continuing the search inside of a dead tree. The next day, Pip, Flitter, Flap, and Stellaluna went flying far from home. They flew for hours, exercising their new wings. The sun is setting, warned Flitter. We had better go home or we will be lost in the dark, said Flap. But Stellaluna had flown far ahead and was nowhere to be seen. The three anxious birds went home without her. Here are three birds getting ready to head for home, and here's Stellaluna practicing flying. You can see her tongue hanging out. She's working very hard. I love this one. Here you can see Mama Bat sticking her face underwater to look for her baby. There's a little fish there. All alone, Stellaluna flew and flew until her wings ached and she dropped into a tree. I promised not to hang by my feet, Stellaluna sighed. So she hung by her thumbs and soon fell asleep. She didn't hear the soft sound of wings coming near. You can see this baby bat trying to hang on by her thumbs, the little feet dangling. But what is this in the distance? We see some wings approaching. Here we see our mama bat taking a little bit of a rest. Hey, a loud voice said. Why are you hanging upside down? Stellaluna's eyes opened wide. She saw a most peculiar face. I'm not upside down. You are, Stellaluna said. Ah, but you're a bat. Bats hang by their feet. You are hanging by your thumbs, so that makes you upside down, the creature said. I'm a bat. I am hanging by my feet. That makes me right side up. Stellaluna was confused. Mama Bird told me I was upside down. She said I was wrong. Wrong for a bird, maybe, but not for a bat. Here's Stellaluna and the new bat. See Stellaluna still hanging by her thumbs. And our right side up bat hanging upside down. Here we see Stellaluna's mom approaching what looks like more bats. More bats gathered around to see the strange young bat who behaved like a bird. Stellaluna told them her story. You ate bugs? Stuttered one. You slept at night? Gasped another. How very strange, they all murmured. Wait, let me look at this child. A bat pushed through the crowd. An owl attacked you? She asked. Sniffing Stellaluna's fur, she whispered, You are Stellaluna. You are my baby. Here's Stellaluna talking to all of these other bats, all hanging upside down. And up here we can see maybe them being reunited. You escaped the owl? Cried Stellaluna. You survived? Yes, said Mother Bat as she wrapped her wings around Stellaluna. Come with me and I'll show you where to find the most delicious fruit. You'll never have to eat another bug as long as you live. You can see our bat family reunited. hanging upside down in this tree. Here they are nesting for the night, wings wrapped around each other. But it's nighttime, Stellaluna squeaked. We can't fly in the dark or we will crash into trees. We're bats, said Mother Bat. We can see in darkness. Come with us. Stellaluna was afraid, but she let go of the tree and dropped into the deep blue sky. Stellaluna could see. She felt as though rays of light shone from her eyes. She was able to see everything in her path. You can see the bats flying around. Here's more of them flying around in our nice little line drawings. Soon, the bats found a mango tree, and Stellaluna ate as much of the fruit as she could hold. I'll never eat another bug as long as I live, cheered Stellaluna as she stuffed herself full. I must tell Pip, Flitter, and Flap. Here you can see this little bat really eating a huge mango. You can see, hopefully you can see her cheeks are nice and round and full. And here are some more bats eating those fruits. The next day, Stellaluna went to visit the birds. Come with me and meet my bat family, said Stellaluna. Okay, let's go, agreed Pip. They hang by their feet and they fly at night and they eat the best food in the world, Stellaluna explained to the birds on the way. As the birds flew among the bats, Flap said, I feel upside down here. So the birds hung by their feet. Wait until dark, Stellaluna said excitedly. We will fly at night. Here you can see our young birds hanging out with our young bats, all upside down. When night came, Stellaluna flew away. Pip, Flitter, and Flap leapt from the tree to follow her. I can't see a thing, yelled Pip. Neither can I, howled Flitter. Eee! Shrieked Flap. They're going to crash, gasped Stellaluna. I must rescue them. Stellaluna swooped about, grabbing her friends in the air. She lifted them to a tree, and the birds grasped a branch. Stellaluna hung from the limb above them. Here she is, grabbing onto. We have a little chain of young birds holding onto each other as this bat keeps them safe at night. Here they are, first catching onto each other as they realize that birds can't see at night. Or at least not these birds. We're safe, said Stellaluna. Then she sighed. I wish you could see in the dark too. We wish you could land on your feet, Flitter replied. Pip and Flap nodded. They perched in silence for a long time. How can we be so different and feel so much alike? Mused Flitter. And how can we feel so different and be so much alike? Wondered Pip. I think this is quite a mystery, Flap chirped. I agree, said Stellaluna, but we're friends, and that's a fact. Here are 3 birds standing upright on their branch, Stellaluna hanging upside down from her branch, all holding each other with their wings. Here they are trying to get up onto that branch in the first place in the dark. Here are some bat notes. Here, I'll move the camera a little bit so you can see her while I read these. The text is kind of small to see. Bat notes. Of the nearly 4,000 species of mammals on Earth, almost 1/4 are bats, the only mammals capable of powered flight. The scientific name for bats is Chiroptera, or hand wing, because the skeleton that supports the wing is composed of the animal's elongated finger bones. The majority of bats are classified as Microchiroptera, or small hand wing. Nearly 800 species fill special niches in every climate around the world except the polar zones. The lifestyles and food preferences of Microchiroptera vary widely. Many eat insects, while others catch fish, amphibians, and reptiles. Finally, there is the famous vampire bat, of which there are only 3 species, ranging from Mexico to Argentina. The vampire bat's prey are usually domestic cattle and native mammals and birds. The other 170 or so species of bats are the fruit bats, otherwise known as Megachiroptera or large handwing. As their name implies, these are the largest bats, some types boasting wingspans of 6 feet. Fruit bats generally have long muzzles, large eyes, pointy ears, and furry bodies, which is why they are often called flying foxes. Unlike the Microchiroptera, who travel by echolocation, fruit bats depend on their keen vision and sense of smell to navigate. They live in tropical and subtropical climates that provide year-round supplies of their favorite fruit, flowers, and nectar. Some fruit bats, as they forage for nectar, are responsible for pollination of many types of night-blooming trees and plants. Others eat whole fruits, seeds and all, and distribute the seeds over the forest floor in their droppings. Regeneration of tropical forests depends greatly on bats. So here's a little diagram. This is a person's arm, and here's a bat wing. You can see how they kind of compare to each other. How this bat wing, you can see the bones are basically like a hand that's all kind of stretched out. So you can see the thumb bone kind of sticks up, and the rest of the hand bones are really, really long with skin kind of stretched between them. That's how bats make their flying surface. And then here's a comparison of the kind of bat that we were just reading about, Stellaluna. And so we have this little bat who we might call a flying fox, and here's our regular land foxes. You can see how the similarities of the very kind of long face and nice big eyes and big ears for flying around at night. I think that was the last page. So this was Stellaluna by Janelle Cannon. So I thought it would be a fun change of pace to talk about bats a little bit for a nocturnal species instead of our usual owls. But this is, for those who kind of missed at the beginning, this is a great horned owl, one of our native owls here in Minnesota and really across most of North, Central, and South America, a very important nighttime predator. This particular great horned owl, you've been hearing her make quite a lot of noise, which is a little bit different than what you would hear from most of your kind of wild great horned owls that you might be seeing or hearing where you live. So this great horned owl actually lives here at the Raptor Center because when she was a very young bird, she was separated from her parents. Either her nest fell down or she fell out of the nest, or maybe she was practicing flying and was separated from her parents. She was found by people, but the people didn't maybe know the best way to help out a baby owl. So they actually were raising her for a short period of time. And it was during a very important time for young owls called imprinting, when there's kind of a brain process that kind of turns on for a little bit so that owls can learn what it means to be a great horned owl. And a lot of birds go through this process too, since they grow up so quickly. So that part of their brain turns on and goes, okay, I'm gonna see my parents, I'm gonna see my siblings, I'm gonna see what kind of food I am brought and where I am living. And that's how they learn how to be an adult great horned owl. And then after a short period of time, that part of the brain turns back off because they know all the stuff that they need to know about being a great horned owl. And they can really focus on learning how to really perfect their flying and hunting skills. Now, the problem is that this bird, since she was raised by people during that imprinting time, she wasn't learning from great horned owls and was instead learning from people. So that part of her brain that was supposed to be imprinting on other great horned owls was instead imprinting on people. So she's what we call a human imprint, as opposed to a kind of owl imprint. She should have been imprinting on other great horned owls, but instead imprinted on people. So because of that, when she was brought to the Raptor Center, kind of evaluated her to see kind of what she knew and what she was maybe a little bit confused about. And this particular great horned owl just is a little bit too confused about how to be an adult great horned owl out in the wild. So that is why she lives with us and has lived with us here at the Raptor Center for about 20 years now, teaching people about great horned owls. So not as much of a concern now in November, but as we get into the kind of late winter for great horned owls and early spring, if you do find any baby owls or really any baby wildlife, if you're worried that it might need some help, if it's a raptor and you're in the kind of upper Midwest, you can give the Raptor Center a call. If you are somewhere else, definitely the internet has some great resources for finding out the best people to contact for your area. Here, again, kind of in Minnesota, you can also, if it's a non-raptor, any other type of wildlife, we have the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center. Again, definitely check online or with your local Department of Natural Resources or conservation officers, if you're here in the U.S., to figure out the best place to contact if you find any baby animals that might need help. Since usually we're able to figure out ways to help raise these animals in a way that doesn't cause them to imprint on people so that they can still be released to go back out into the wild. Because this bird is great at teaching people about great horned owls, but we want to make sure that the rest of those baby owls and other baby animals stay out in the wild and can go do their jobs that they're supposed to be doing out in the wild instead. So that's why this bird lives with us. We call her Lois. So that is the name that we use. Just great horned owl number 3 isn't a very good name. So she is making these kind of squawking noises. Those are normally noises that only baby great horned owls usually make when they're in the nest. That particular kind of squawking noise is actually what we call a food begging noise, which is a noise that they would make to kind of tell their parents, hey, I'm hungry, I want to eat food now. So again, normally not a noise that an adult great horned owl would make, but since she doesn't really know how to be an adult great horned owl, she still makes that noise. So that is a lot of why she lives with us here at the Raptor Center, because that's not very sneaky. Normally owls are ambush hunters who are using that excellent camouflage to sit up in a tree, kind of stay really nice and hidden, use those giant eyes and her hidden giant ears to look and listen for food, and then swoop down and sneak up on the food that she wants to eat, like mice or rats or rabbits or even other birds or lizards and snakes, things like that. So normally they're sneaking up on their food, but a bird who sits out here and makes a lot of noise isn't going to be able to sneak up on a lot of those small animals. So that is why she lives with us at the Raptor Center. I'm going to quick scroll through and see if there are any questions. Whoops, wrong button. Scroll through really quick and see if there are any questions that I missed while we were reading. I'm not seeing too many. I think we got all of them so far. What kind of owl is this? Yeah, I think we got them all. If anyone else has any last few questions about our great horned owl, right now you can see, so she has this excellent camouflage. Might be able to see down at the very, very bottoms of her feet. Right now she has her feathers kind of all fluffed out over her feet. But great horned owls have these really nice fluffy feathers over their toes. So they've got kind of built-in boots so that they're able to keep their feet really nice and safe when they are grabbing onto prey animals. I mean, great horned owls have been known to take down prey as big as a skunk. So they can be hunting a lot of different animals and need to be able to keep their feet safe when they're grabbing onto those animals, since usually those animals are not very happy about being dinner. So the feathers on her feet can help protect her feet from the teeth or claws of whatever she's trying to catch. They can also protect her feet from the tree branches and rocks and things that she might be reaching past to grab onto those other animals. And I'm sure it doesn't hurt to help keep their feet nice and warm too, since they are here in the northern part of North America all year round. So we can see them all the way up into Canada, all the way down through North America, Central America, and even down into South America. The main kind of habitat that you can't really find them in is really the Amazon rainforest. For the most part, you can find them in really most other habitats across this whole kind of hemisphere. So really adaptable owls, able to live in just a huge variety of habitats. So you'll see some different colors of great horned owls as well. This is a pretty typical color for, again, kind of the upper Midwest area. As you go further north into very kind of northern Minnesota and Canada, they get a little bit lighter in color. I know we have some videos with Reading with Raptors of Samantha, our resident subarctic great horned owl, if you want to check those out to get an idea of what that can look like. But they can also be a lot darker brown too in areas where there are lots of kind of really dark colored trees and rocks, in a lot of kind of mountainous areas, or in some areas. I know Central America has a few places where we have some very, very darkly colored great horned owls as well, just really depending on what the kind of trees and soil and what kind of snow or no snow that they might get in an area. That camouflage is so important, so they need to be able to kind of blend in with whatever their surroundings are. So you can get some very interesting colors on these great horned owls, depending on where they live. We do have one question, is it a boy or a girl? Which is a very interesting question for this bird because we're not really sure. I've been calling her she, so that's kind of what we've decided, kind of based off of size. In the raptor world, generally the males and females, or the girls and the boys, kind of look the same. They don't usually have too many big obvious differences between them. There are some exceptions to that. So there are some like American kestrels, for example, where you have some pretty big color differences. But for great horned owls, they kind of look the same. And for most of the year, they kind of act the same. And their size ranges can kind of overlap. So generally the females or the girls are bigger than the boys or the males. But it's kind of a range. So this particular great horned owl kind of sits right in the middle of that general range for a pretty normal Minnesota bird. If you're curious, it's about 1,260 grams is what she weighs, which is about getting close to about the kind of 2 to 3 pound range. So kind of hard to tell. So we call her she, but we don't actually know for sure. So we probably won't ever. So we're not sure. So it's a really good question. We don't actually know, but we call her she. Any last questions about our great horned owl? Otherwise, reminder, and for anyone who is joining us now, we're going to be having actually another Facebook Live event in 2 days on Thursday, the 19th, 12 p.m. Central Time here in Minnesota, where we are actually going to be celebrating Give to the Max Day, which is a big day here in Minnesota for a lot of fundraising for a lot of nonprofits, us included. So we're going to be doing a Facebook Live where we're actually going to take a break from being in here. We're going to go outside to the main courtyard area. We'll probably see this bird out there and see where she normally is spending most of her time. We're going to go see all of the birds that are out there, do a bit of kind of our virtual field trip that we've been offering and bringing into a lot of different kind of schools and community events, kind of this end of summer into the fall, and now that we're getting into winter here, we've been really excited to kind of keep perfecting that and kind of trying to bring the Raptor Center to people, since we're not able to have people here in person. So really excited to do that on Facebook Live in just 2 days on Thursday. So definitely come and check that out. I'll also drop a link in the comments to this video for the kind of main Give to the Max page if you want to check that out, since everything raised on that page kind of through Give to the Max Day all counts towards that big fundraising goal that we have. So I'll drop that link in the comments here as well. Otherwise, if we don't see you on Thursday, we will see you again next week for more Reading with Raptors. But definitely check us out on Thursday as well. We will see you all then. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. And we will see you soon for more Reading with Raptors and other Facebook Live fun. Bye, everyone.